The pawn shop owner noticed a young couple trying to sell their wedding rings on a Tuesday afternoon. Both gold bands, engraved with their initials and a date from 8 months ago. The woman was holding back tears while the man did all the talking. Said they needed cash for rent, and this was all they had left of value. The owner, a woman named Ruth in her 60s, examined the rings under her loupe and told them she could give $300 for the pair. The man's face fell because he said they needed $800 to avoid eviction and asked if there was any way she could go higher. Ruth said no, but asked them to wait a minute, then went to her back office and made a phone call to her nephew, who ran a moving company. She came back out and told the couple her nephew needed day laborers for a big job that weekend, paid $200 cash per person for 8 hours of work. If they both showed up, they'd have $400 plus the $300 from the rings. The man looked at his wife and said they'd take it, and Ruth bought the rings and gave them her nephew's number. Saturday came, and the couple showed up at 6 a.m. ready to work. Ruth's nephew called her that night and said they'd worked harder than anyone he'd ever hired. The wife had organized the entire truckload by herself, and the husband had carried furniture up 4 flights of stairs without complaining once. He paid them $400 and asked if they could come back next weekend. The couple worked for Ruth's nephew every weekend for 3 months, saved enough to catch up on rent and build a small emergency fund. On their 1-year anniversary, they walked back into Ruth's pawn shop with an envelope. Inside was $900 and their original rings. They told Ruth they'd saved enough to buy back their rings and pay her extra for connecting them to the work. Ruth tried to refuse the extra money, but they insisted, said the rings meant nothing when they sold them because they felt like failures. Now the rings meant everything because they'd earned them back through work Ruth made possible. She took the money and started a small loan program at her shop. Lets people in crisis borrow against items without selling them permanently. Gives them 90 days to earn it back before the sale becomes final. 12 families have used the program so far and 8 bought their items back. Ruth keeps those wedding rings in her display case as a reminder that sometimes the most valuable thing a pawn shop can offer isn't cash. It's time. Comment rings if second chances need work, not luck.